I've been trying to figure out how to ask the question of how do we create a better, safer space for men to talk about and portray their feelings, their true feelings. Because as a 43-year-old man, I don't think I'm alone in saying that I believe I was raised, and a lot of men around me were raised to stifle it and hide it and run away from it maybe, in the hopes that we don't come back and trip over it. And so the question was hard to ask because I didn't even know where to start. And that sort of made me and my colleagues realize that maybe that's the issue. We don't even know how to address it. So the elephant in the room is men's mental health and the idea that we have been sort of forced throughout our lives through society and family and friends to hide from it and run from it and not express it. Whether it's to talk about it, to cry, to have a bad day, we've learned to stifle it and put it down, and we see the negative impact of that. And so my goal with your help is to talk about this and make it normalize it, and take away the stigma that it's not good. So we're gonna do one even better. Instead of it just being me or a couple of people, we're going to try to have a group effort because, in my mind, safety in numbers is a real thing. And so maybe if there's more of us talking about the thing, then it'll be normalized and it'll be an easier thing to talk about. So we, as in MotoCorsa, are going to go to a lovely barbershop here in town called Union Barber Company, and Abe and his awesome crew are going to help us to have sort of a new start. And by a new start, we're going to get our beard shaved off, get a nice little haircut, have a little moment of clarity, and think about what it is we want to talk about.
My name's Kyle. I'm a tech here at MotoCorsa, and today we're talking about men's mental health. I know it affects me a lot personally. Growing up without a father, I know like a lot of people have in the United States and all over the world, and there's a lot of a stigma behind the repression of everyone's emotions, really, in the workplace and in normal day-to-day life, but specifically right now talking about males, and expressing their emotions, and in dealing with mental health. I think it all ties together. I feel like a lot of guys don't want to open up, they don't want to talk about their emotions and their feelings because they see other men don't do it. And I feel if we bring it to the surface, we talk about it, we expose ourselves, kind of metaphorically, maybe shaving our beards off, being naked in front of everyone, so to speak. Somebody else could see that and realize that it's okay to feel, it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to cry. It's actually more powerful than it is a weakness. Is it okay for men to express their emotions?
Of course it's okay for men to express their emotions. I don't think it's not only okay, I think it's an absolute necessity. I think the minute that a man decides that his feelings, his personal opinion, his struggles, his challenges are considered no longer accepted, then to himself he loses value. You know what I mean? No one deserves to feel like they're nothing. No one deserves to feel like their voice shouldn't be heard. No one. One thing, and I'm just going to keep going, Mike, one thing that really gets me a lot in the masculinity thing is, and here's your comic relief, is all this talk about like, oh man, I dropped my bike, or oh man, I got passed by this girl on the track. Hey, guess what? Everyone drops their bike, and I know more women that can pass me on the track than I probably know men that can pass me on the track, and the fact is we need more of that in there. Let's not compare ourselves with anyone else or anything. Let's legitimately sit here and say, guess what? We're all individuals. We're all doing different things. No one's lesser, no one's more. Let's all do it together. Let's enjoy this.
I think a lot of where men kind of tend to struggle is when we forget to take care of ourselves. You know, I know for me as a man, I put a lot of pressure on myself to really be the provider, taking care of everything, and I can't fail, I can't be wrong, I can't live up to the expectations that are unreal, and I let that narrative play in my head, and I can just get in a really dark place. And I know for me, like, self-care has been a huge deterrent. Also, in any way that I can like help others, being of service in some of like the smallest ways to like very large scope magnitudes. I try to be a part of community. I try to help others when I can. And then just like on a smaller scale, like, you know, my job is to make people look better and feel better, which is something that really feeds me internally. And in turn helps me combat with a lot of the struggles that, you know, are so taboo, I feel like, in society for us as men to talk about. Like, we're just supposed to be able to handle everything and supposed to be able to be okay and be strong and be masculine and all these things that are a falsity. I grew up pretty much with a cultured father from a different culture and grew up with those expectations of the way that you're supposed to take care of everything. So that's kind of been for me. You know, I've battled with lots of mental and physical illness and addiction and you know, through that I have done a lot of internal writing and work and sharing and getting vulnerable with another man that has like really helped me.
I think it'll take an entire community, an entire village, an entire city, an entire world to get together and take away the stigma and the negativity that is typically adhered to the idea of men's mental health. So join us. I think it'll be fun, and I think we're going to get places together. Thanks for listening.